we just talk? Can we just talk? Talk about where we're going before we get lost. Let me your thoughts. Can't keep what we want without knowing. I've never felt like this before. I apologize if I'm moving too far. Can we just talk? Can we just talk? Figure out where we're going. Yeah. Started off right, I can see it in your eyes, I can tell.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lady T. Make It Make Sense Monday. Today, we are going to be talking about domestic violence in honor of the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I want to give a shout out to my boy Judas because he did this segment earlier this month, but unfortunately, we had to take it down due to some content that we didn't want to be on air. So it was really good. So shout out to that. And he also went and did the breast cancer awareness, and it was really good. If you have not seen that, you need to check that out. It was really good. A lot of information on there. Shout out to my crew just in general. If y'all missed our podcast last Friday, it was very good. You need to check that out as well. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about not breast cancer. I'm sorry. Today we're gonna be talking about domestic violence, and I actually have someone here today that's gonna talk about that with me. But before I bring her on here, I just want to kind of talk about domestic violence a little bit and make people kind of think about it because it's not always just women. Sometimes it's men, and a lot of times it's not reported or talked about because men are ashamed or people may laugh at them for being in that situation, and it's not funny. It's not. It's not okay for a woman to hit a man either, or verbally abuse or any of that. That's not okay. So, ladies, if you're doing that, that's not okay either. Um, Domestic violence generally is a lot of times it's against a woman. It usually starts verbally. You're being verbally abused, and then it leads into something deeper than that, and it's terrible. And unfortunately, it happens a lot. It's probably happening to people that you know, but a lot of times people are too ashamed to even talk about it or let anybody know that they're going through it because they're ashamed, they're embarrassed, or they want their relationship to work and they hoping these things don't happen again. So I'm about to bring my guest in today. Come on in here.
Hey,
Hey, honey.
how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so I brought you here today so you can tell us your story about domestic violence, and what I'm hoping to get from this is some awareness and hoping that you can help somebody that may possibly be going through this too. So, first of all, tell us about yourself. Tell us about you.
Okay, so I'm Deshaya Shelton actually. Um, I am a single mother of 5 kids. Um, 4 of my youngest are with the person who we're going to discuss or talk about today. Um, I am a Medicare advisor for Meridian Healthcare, and then I'm the owner and operator of the Alucard LLC. I am a I'm a certified I'm a certified lash tech and permanent makeup artist. So that's pretty much about me. I
All right,
model too a
and
little
she got a lot of going on, y'all. And later on, down the line, we are doing a segment on businesses, and she will be there, and we can go a little deeper into the things that she's doing. But today we're going to be talking about domestic violence. So, tell us your story. Tell us a little bit about what you went through, and just give us a rundown. Tell us what how your story went.
Okay, so first, Tidy, just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, um, really abuse kind of start mentally because your abuser has to kind of break you down mentally to allow the verbal, which then turn physical, to actually affect you. So I'm not going to say his name, so we're not going to say his name for the sake of my sons. However, I met him first time in 2005. I met him through my brother, and it was just, kind of like casual conversation, nothing major. So in 2009, we ended up reconnecting back again. And then that's when we kind of started talking and kind of developing a friendship. And then we ended up in a relationship.
Okay.
So during that time we met, my grandmother who raised me was actually battling cancer and she was on her deathbed. So during the time that we developed in our relationship, I ended up getting pregnant with our first son. That was pretty quick too. We got together in January. We moved in together in March. April, here come Jason. So, I think during that time of me being pregnant, my grandmother passed. So I think during that time of when me and him got together, it was more of I was vulnerable because I was, going through some things. And most abusers are narcissistic, whether it's a man or a woman, and they prey on the vulnerable. That's how they're able to get in. And they come in pretty charming. So the man that I actually fell in love with was not who I ended up with. First year of being together, being pregnant, he was very attentive. He was loving. He was understanding. He lended support, during the time that my grandmother had died. And, he was financially supportive, and as an adult, I hadn't had, that solid relationship, So, after our first son was born, that's when it started changing. The abuse started. It started more so with um, the correcting of talk. I could be taking care of some business and he tells me what to say. Um, it started also with controlling, um, like how I would dress, how I presented myself out in public. Again, me being a woman who hasn't had that, I'm thinking it's just him, caring about me. And over time, he just started to just make me feel like everything was my fault. I could have made dinner or something like that. And he just had to find something wrong with it with everything. And it was more so like the way he would put it would be more so like of a correction. So the first time he ever put his hands on me, we had got into a really, really, really big argument. And our first son, Jason, was only maybe a couple of months old, maybe about 4 or 5 months old. And we got into a really, really big argument and I left. And when I left, I called his brother and because that's who knew him better, and that enraged him, and when I got back home, he just flipped. He said I had left and went and slept with his brother, and his brother was married, and that I wanted to be with his brother, and he just flipped. He choked me on the couch. He picked me up, slammed me against the couch. I was trying to get away from him, and I was, like, kinda going into our bedroom. He pushed me, I fell. And, I was just I didn't I was, like, in shock. I didn't know what to do. I had bruises on my thighs and on my side, and, I just was like, it was my fault. I shouldn't have left and I shouldn't have called his brother. You know what I mean? Because that enraged him. And it just got worse over time, and over time, I kept having babies. And, it was just bad, Tidy. Like, it was instances where was pregnant, and we'd get into an argument, and I guess if he didn't like what I said, is what really pushed him to put his hands on me. If I said something he didn't like and he wanted me to shut up, that's when he would put his hands on me. And it was times where he would put his hands on me during pregnancy. One time in particular, I was pregnant with Josiah, which is my fourth son. And we got into an argument because um, Elijah didn't want to go to sleep, and he hit him kind of hard, and I intervened and
Right.
told him, don't hit my baby. And that enraged him, like, that's my son too. And he jumped up in my face, and I said, get out my face. I never was like the timid kind, you know.
Right.
I know I can't fight no man, but I ain't gonna go down without a fight, you know. So,
Exactly.
and he told me to shut up, and I didn't. And he grabbed me like by my face, and he put his hand over my nose and my mouth. I'm pregnant. And he pushed me on the bed and sat on top of my stomach
Wow.
and told me, you know, shut the fuck up, bitch. Who you talking to? It's my son. I do what the fuck I want. And, you know, it was instances, it was plenty of times, you know, where he had, you know, we have gotten into an argument. He'd just start. It'd be no reason at all, you know.
Mm.
He'd just start up for no reason, just because he just, you know, wanted to, you know, be angry, or just wanted to, you know, fight or argue, you know. And it wasn't physical all the time, you know. Let me make that clear, because abuse comes, you know, abuse comes in different forms. It's not
Right.
always physical. You know, it's emotional, because I was emotionally abused. You say you love me and we're together, but you have a whole relationship um outside of, you know, me, and you create a child outside of that. Then he started to isolate me from my family and my friends.
Hmm.
So if you had noticed an absence during that time, that,
Right.
that was why.
Wow.
That was why, you know.
So did he ever like I know a lot of time people experience, especially at that first encounter, the promise that I'll never do that again. Did he do that or try to buy you gifts to pacify the abuse that he put upon you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that question in just one second. I see it come across the screen. But yeah, absolutely. And it was more so of, you know, we really couldn't afford to buy gifts like that, but he would, you know, take me out, or he would try to be better, and it'll last for maybe 2 weeks, you know, maybe a couple of weeks. And it just went bad. And what really what really kind of got me to the point of like enough is enough is 6 weeks after giving birth to Josiah, I tried to kill myself
Oh wow.
because I was dealing with postpartum depression. I got two small children, you know, and well, three now because he was a baby. And I tried to kill myself because of I was dealing with postpartum, and then, you know, the feeling of being not good enough. Everything I do was wrong.
Right.
Um, being cheated on, knowing that he's with another woman. What can I do? I left so many times and will come back because he will come get me, you know. So it's like, what can I do? And I felt at that moment, I felt worthless and I felt stuck. And in my mind, the only way to get out of that was to relieve myself of that pain. And I did. And I was in the hospital for a week. And once I started to realize, like, my life is way more than, you know, this, and my children deserve better. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting gaining some of my strength back, and I put a plan in motion. Like, I'm gonna find me a job, you know, because I wasn't working. That's another thing they do too. They strip you from your independence. They make you
Right.
dependent. So, I was a stay-at-home mom, and you know, I found a job. I took my income taxes and went and bought me a car, my 2000 Honda Odyssey. I love that van. I did. Took my income taxes, got that, and found me a job. And I said I was going to get myself together, and I started gaining my strength back. And I found out JoJo may have been about 9 months that he had a baby with that girl. And when I found out he had a baby with the woman he was cheating on me with, I knew right then and there this was it. I'm done.
Hmm.
you know. And during the midst of that, I ended up getting pregnant with Christian, my last son.
Right.
And I had, before I got pregnant with Christian, I had prayed. I said, God, please relieve me out of this situation. I don't want to be in it no more. It's not healthy. I want my children to grow up normal. I deserve way more than this. And I prayed and asked God to get me out of that. And when I found out I was pregnant with Christian, I said, this is my way out. On August 9th, 2015, JoJo was 10 and a half months. No, 11 and a half months, because he was born in August. 11 and a half months. Me and Jason were no longer together. I was 7 weeks pregnant with Christian. And
Okay.
so I was upstairs getting ready to give uh, JoJo a bath. I was getting all his stuff. I was going to give him a bath in the sink. I come downstairs. His dad was downstairs changing him on the couch. So when I saw him changing him on the couch, I just went right around on the side of him, reached over him. I didn't snatch him. I said, you don't have to put him on a new diaper. I'm getting ready to give him a bath. So I picked JoJo up. He said, why did you snatch him from me? And I said, I didn't. As calm as I could, I said, I didn't snatch him. I just picked him up. And he said, so this is you want to start? I said, I don't want no problems. Before I knew it, he had picked me up from behind. I'm still holding the baby. He had picked me up from behind and slammed me on the couch and was choking me. And my other two youngest were trying to pull him off of me. And I don't know how my oldest heard me gasping for air because I was almost out of there. He came and pulled him off of me. And I kind of passed out a little bit, but not enough to, be completely unconscious. So when I popped up, immediately I would, call 911. And in the midst of being on the phone with 911, he was like, if I'm gonna go to jail, I might as well fuck you up.
Wow.
And he pushed me up against the window and he started choking me again. And he drew back as if he was gonna punch me in my face. And I said, you're gonna do this in front of your kids? And he turned around and he saw the two youngest ones sitting on the couch. And he left. Like he went outside, called the police. They came and got him. And I've been free ever since. It almost cost me my life, but I've been free ever since. Um, there's a question. Let me answer this real quick. So the advice that I would give to someone that's in a similar situation that I've been in, do not feel like it's your fault. No matter what that man or woman may say, it's not your fault. There's plenty of places out here that you can call a hotline, call the domestic violence hotline and talk to and ask for resources. Because there's a lot of women who are not as blessed as I am that can make it out of it. And you may, you got to think of that too, especially if it's children involved. You want your children to grow up normal. Being in an abusive, that's a relationship, that's not love, and it's abnormal. That's breaking children's spirits. We want strong, boys and girls growing up because those are who our leaders are going to be. We don't want our young men growing up thinking this is how we're supposed to treat women. So seek help. Go to a friend. You got to have somebody to confide in.
Yes,
Wow.
domestic violence is not love, people. It's not love. It's not somebody putting their hands on you. And what's so important about this show today is because y'all don't know me or her personally, but I actually know her personally, and I had no idea that she was going through this. So this is what I'm trying to get you guys to see. This is my friend. This girl was in my wedding that I just had. This is my friend like that. And I had no idea that she was going through this. So it's important, like, people need to have somebody to talk to because if she would have killed herself, if he would have killed her, the devastation that I would have felt as her friend, not even knowing that she was going through something like this. So that's why this is important, guys. People going through things like this and they scared to talk about it because they're embarrassed to talk about it, or they hoping that the situation gonna get better. And a lot of times it don't get better. And a
Even
lot of
worse.
times it leads to death.
Mhm.
So please, if you in that situation, I don't care who you have to talk to. You need to talk to somebody and try to get out of that situation. There is it's no apology, it's no gift, it's no nothing. It's disrespectful, it's degrading. It's no excuse for abuse. It's like she said, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything to deserve somebody to put their hands on you. It's not okay.
Oh, I felt like I was the worst woman in the world. He even told me I wasn't even marriage material. Like,
And
I,
probably was telling you, don't nobody else want you. You
yeah,
can leave.
yeah,
And nobody else
mhm,
want. Yeah,
yeah.
all of
He
that.
did. He did. He said, you know, who gonna want you with 5 kids? You got 5 kids. Anybody gonna want you? You know. Mm, It,
So how has your story shaped you into the person you are today?
oh man, what? It made this bomb woman sitting right here in front of this camera. Do you hear me? I tell people all the time, do not feel sorry for me. I don't feel sorry for me. I am a survivor.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to go through mud to realize your worth and who you are. God took me through it to get me through
Yeah. I'm so glad that you got out that situation, and I'm so proud of you and the things that you're doing now. And I'm so happy that you came on here and told us your story, because whether you know it or not, or whether we find out or not, you might have helped somebody today. So I
it.
appreciate you so
It's,
much for doing
you know,
this. Like,
listen, it's life after abuse. It's a life after the trauma. Yeah, I do still have some physical, like my voice. It's not, it comes and it goes, it comes and it goes. My voice is permanently this way because I have damage to my vocal cords. But when it comes to my spirit and my heart and my soul, I had to heal. And that's
mhm,
been 6 years, and it takes time. But baby, when you heal and you get yourself back and you know your self-worth, nothing can ever take that away from you. Ever, ever. And God will bless you. I've been blessed tremendously since then.
okay,
Tremendously, tremendously. My children are blessed tremendously. So I just give God all the praises, especially because I'm here still.
exactly.
It's women that didn't make it. It's
Yeah,
women that didn't make it. It's a woman right now as we speak getting her ass beat.
yeah, yes, yes. Well, I got one last question,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let you out of here.
Okay.
If you could go back to that woman that you were at that time, what would you say to her today?
Get out. You can make it. You can survive. You can
Oh, we,
survive. Get out. One more I guess is the last question.
do you and your boys have a strong relationship, and have y'all all attended therapy?
Absolutely.
Good,
Absolutely. Yep.
good.
Absolutely. The little ones, they were so small. I don't need because Jason was only like 3, and then Elijah was 2, and then Josiah was like still a baby, but my oldest, absolutely, because he saved my life. He
Yes,
witnessed a lot of the abuse that I endured. So with him, yes. Listen, I can't even go to the bathroom by myself without that oldest. Do you hear me?
hey,
But yes, our relationship, my relationship with my children is what keeps me going. Our relationship is strong. Granted, sometimes me and that big one we get into it, but that's just because he's growing into his manhood. But he is my everything. All my boys are my everything. I attended therapy because I suffer from PTSD and I have anxiety.
yeah.
So I see a therapist regularly, and I'm
Oh,
not
there's
even
nothing wrong
ashamed,
with that.
and I
That's
ain't
it's
ashamed to
nothing
say it.
wrong with
I see a therapist regularly because of the PTSD and the anxiety, and I have panic attacks sometimes too. I know what my triggers are
that.
to
Right.
not, to kind of avoid them, but Yeah. So I absolutely do. And I speak openly to my children, about just being good men and protecting women and loving women and being supportive to women and not hitting girls and putting, you know what I mean, and
Mhm.
hurting girls, feelings and making them feel worthless. So as a parent raising boys, I have to kind of instill that into them on how to be nurturing and loving still. I hug my sons. I tell them I love them all the time. I tell them it's okay to have emotions and say, I love you. You know, I want them to be that way so they can understand and know, hey, I can't do that to a woman. They're fragile.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on here with me today and telling us your story. I appreciate you, and I'm just so happy and grateful that you are the woman you are today and you got out that situation.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
with that being said, guys, thank y'all for joining us. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for Judas Priest. Y'all don't know what he gonna come with y'all with. So y'all make sure y'all in the building tomorrow for my boy Judas. Got my boy Jevy Wednesday, my bro Fresh on Friday, and get us all on Friday. We out of here. Take us out.
Bye.